Hey everyone, did you know that the love that you give and receive is almost always transactional or conditional? Yeah, that's right. You're like, what are you talking about, Tony? I feel real love all the time, or I've been given real love, or I give real love. Well, let me know what you think about this below because I'm really curious to hear your thoughts on this. So I actually wasn't going to go live today, but after having a wonderful conversation with a beautiful soul, Esther, I had to jump on here because we had a conversation about unconditional love. And if you've heard me talk a couple times over the last few weeks about this, especially since going through some of the AJC school and having the on the webinar with Ankush about unconditional love, it's really different because, and I'll give you an example here before I get into some of the other ones, and I want to hear your response below. When you tell somebody, whether it's your spouse, your children, your parents, when you tell somebody I love you, are you expecting them to respond with "I love you too"? Let me know below. Let me hear what you have to say. I want to hear what you're saying about that. What your thoughts are on that. Are you expecting a response? And if so, why? And the reason I say is that's transactional love. That's conditional love. Because in reality, if you are truly pouring unconditional love into somebody and you're saying I love you, then you should not have any expectation of any response in return. You could literally just say I love you to somebody and they could say thank you as acknowledging that you said that. They do not have to say I love you too. Now, don't get me wrong, I do that with my wife. We have that agreement with each other, and that's just the way we were taught. It doesn't mean it's that, but that's still conditional. It's transactional. And so it's funny. So Esther was telling me about this time where she these times she's been in India and Egypt, and where, especially in India, she had this vibration, this energy around her, and what she felt was unconditional love from the people around her, from what she was serving, how she was serving the people, and who she was being with those people, that taking pictures with them, interacting with them, seeing their ashrams, seeing their temples, walking through the busy streets with them in what's considered the slums. But even in the slums, these people are happy with what they have. They love each other and love what they have unconditionally. Here in the West, we always have conditions to it. There's exceptions, of course, but generally speaking, there's conditions to who we love, how we deliver that love. And so after listening to Ankush's Unconditional Love webinar a few weeks back, I started practicing that. I always kind of understood it, but never really put it into practice until recently. And this is just one more thing. Remember, I've talked to you about the signs from the universe. This is one more sign. I was meant to have this conversation with Esther today about unconditional love, about vibration, about the energy, so that I can help boost mine myself. Because it all starts here. And so it reminded me, and I suggested this book to her. It reminded me of the book "You Are the One" by Kute Blackson. And if you haven't read this book, you're missing out. You should really read this book. And part of that book is that he takes people on a pilgrimage to the quote unquote slums of India for 14 days. And these are people who are fairly successful, financially successful, but are stuck, are missing something in their lives. And after spending 14 days roughing it, but feeling the love and dealing the love, producing the love, the unconditional love that they're receiving and giving, they come back a changed person and a more successful person. And it just goes to show that most of the time when we're dealing with love in our lives, we're dealing with condition. Oh, I'll love you if you tell me back. Or I'll love you if you do this. Or we just, it's everything is transactional when we use that phrase. Almost everything. Not everything, but almost everything. So think about it for a moment. And I want to hear your thoughts below. What would it feel like to you to just love unconditionally without any expectation of anything in return? Let me know what you think. I'd like to hear what you have to say about this and hear your thoughts on what it would feel like, what that would be like. And some of you may be doing this, and I want to hear from you as well. However, do you, based on the definitions I'm just giving you about the transactional versus conditional and unconditional, can you say that you've actually experienced unconditional love or provided unconditional love? And if not, why? And that's for your own. You don't have to say why. And this, I don't need you to say why below, but think about it for yourself. Why? And how can you change that? Who would you need to be unconditional love? Think about it. Anyway, I had to drop in here with this one. After having that amazing conversation with that beautiful soul, Esther, I had to have this conversation with you guys. So anyway, unconditional love. Let me know what you think about unconditional love below. Make it a great rest of your night. And always remember, never forget to be schmaltzy. Take care, my friends. Awesome.